What the fuck is... Motherfucker. Cocksucker. What the fuck did they do here, man? They fucked this shit up. Cocksuckers. The fuck are they doing, man? Holy shit. So... Red Dawn, give me a heads up, man, if I'm actually live on this right here, because I can't log into my any of my channels. I just changed my fucking password because I couldn't remember the password for this stupid ass account. So I don't know whether or not I'm on this. So if you could just let me know that you're actually hearing me on here live, that would be fantastic. I wasn't supposed to start for another 20 minutes, but this shit got all fucked up over here. So I said, you know what? Let me just turn it on and see if it works. All right, thanks, brother. I appreciate that. All right, you just gotta bear with me, man. I'm still setting up over here. I need to go grab a cup of coffee real quick, but I will be right back and share. Now I can't even share the shit with you that I was fucking looking for. These motherfuckers, cocksuckers. I'm gonna have to look for it another way. But we'll manage along, man. We'll manage along to hang out. So don't you worry about that, bro. We'll do something. Just let me go ahead and let me get this shit together. Let me go grab a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Stay there. Holy cow, look at all these people that are here. All right, so, holy shit. Hang out. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome. Oh, so we got... So I couldn't remember the password for this account because this is a backup account, and so I had to change the password. And by changing the password of this account, it's connected to my other accounts and my email accounts. And changing the password, it wanted to send a verification to a phone number that I no longer have. That was, that's how many years. Make a long story short, I couldn't sign in, but fortunately, it was already signed in on this, which is a good thing. At some point, I did that, and then. The hell did I just do over here? At some point I did that and we were good to go. Let me go ahead and say hello to everybody. What a nightmare. What an actual nightmare. And then I have backup emails having it sent to those email accounts. It's just so I can't get into YouTube at all. I can't sign into YouTube. So I'm really surprised that you guys are seeing this right now. My fucking dog scratched me over here. Crazy, crazy shit. Let me put my headphones on. Freaking Liam. What a pain in the ass. What are you going to do? All right, so password required for your Google accounts, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go say hello to everybody, man. Red Dawn, man, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. Atrocious Felon, thank you very much and welcome. I appreciate that. So, guys, normally I do this on Warthog 71, my main channel, but I put up a video about that maniac who drove through the crowd of people, and they gave me a strike for it. What else is new? So they've been throttling that channel, and the irony of all this, so I never turn monetization on really for anything anymore. I stopped doing it a long time ago. And I posted the video of Kyle Rittenhouse. One of the things that I noticed, so I was watching his interview, and if you guys saw the video, I'm sure most of you probably have. I caught it when he said he was looking through the ejection port. He called it something else, but he was literally looking through the breech of the gun, and then he saw that it was out of battery, and he wound up using the forward assist, which closes a long argument for the forward assist, because I have a video over here I want to share with you guys of Ian McCullum, and he does like forgotten weapons and stuff like that. And one of the things you'll see what they had to say was originally the AR-15s went to the Air Force, and they produced, I don't know, maybe let's say 150 of them, and the Air Force had them for about a couple of years. They were training with them. And then they decided they were going to roll them out to all the armed forces. And well, you'll see this in the video, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. But one of the key things that was said, and I want you to catch it if you want to stay with me through this and watching this video. One of the key things that the U.S. Army said is that they wanted Stoner to change the design because at the time it was a slick side. It did not have a forward assist on it. And the Air Force was like, well, we've been using this for 3 years. Hold on 1 second. Enough. Enough. Don't get me started. Don't test me. Pearl. So, one of my dogs. So, anyway, the Air Force was against it. They were like, no, we haven't had any problems or anything like that. And the U.S. military said, the U.S. Army said, if it saves one life, then we want it on there, And essentially, he was talking about one life on the battlefield, you know what I mean? But Kyle Rittenhouse was on the battlefield and using properly the forward assist on there. That's what happened. It saved his damn life, and that's a good thing, Let's go ahead and say hello to people over here, you guys. So, guys, don't forget, Sean S2 Palletwood's in here, and he'll put it up. I'll put it in the description. A lot of times I forget. But join our Warthog community, because this is where we can go on, and I can see you. You could see me. I say this all the time, but I'll say it again. And we can handle weapons, and we could talk in private as it really gets. Not like actually encrypted. But we can converse back and forth. We could do lives on there as well. It's on Warthog community. Maybe Sean S2 Palletwood, who is he's the one I got to thank for that because he started that for us. He'll put up a link for you guys, and I'll also put a link in the description. Air receiver upper ballistic advantage barrel, Hansen profile with pin gas block, ordered for my build. Absolutely. I have a, wish I could show it to you here. I have a 17.7 inch Hansen profile barrel that is dead on 77 grain Remington, 77 grain, Match King hollow, no, Match King MTHB. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry, off the top of my head. Anyway, 77 grain Remington. They're a little expensive. All right. In a good season, they were $20 a box. They're probably $23 a box, $24 a box right now. But quarter inch at 100 yards, you will not, you will not go wrong. It's a really, really good barrel. Allow me. So what's going on, brother? Good evening, Sean. What's happening, man? Christopher V, thank you for coming around here, man. Who else we got going on over here? Anybody else that I miss? Southern Partisan, what's going on, man? First confirmed case of forward assistance. That's awesome. Yes, it's the first confirmed case. I love that. Charlie Mike, brother. Charlie Mike, that was fantastic. Jimmy Hunt, what's up, my brother from the West Coast? What's going on, man? Damn kids, All right. It wanted to be a link, but I'm not a mod on the channel. Oh, shit. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'll do. I will do this right here, and I will go ahead. I can't even get in there to edit the description. You guys in the future come back, all right, look up Warthog Community on Discord, and you'll find it. I will put it in. Or if you look it up on the Kyle Rittenhouse video in this Warthog Unchained channel, it is at the bottom of the description right there. There's a link right there for you guys to join, So there we have it. Bowtail, yes, thank you very, very much, Bowtail. Man, I am slow. Holy cow, I am really, really slow. So, have you guys seen this? Hold on, let me pull this up right here. Boop, 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 boop. Let's share this with you guys. All right, let me go ahead and do this. There we go. Let's go ahead. I got to tell you guys, wasn't a big fan of Lauren Boebert, but I've gotten to the point when it comes to like her and Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know what? They're out there, man. They're saying the things that need to be said. They are truth-telling to the degree that they can truth-tell. But check this out right here. Have you guys seen this? Let's go ahead and run it.
Speaker, Democrat policies are so pathetic and have done so poorly that the left has nothing else to do but troll the internet looking for ways to get offended and then try to target members and strip them of their committees. This is a dumb waste of the House's time. But since the Speaker has designated the floor to discuss members' inappropriate actions, shall we? The Jihad Squad member from Minnesota has paid her husband, and not her brother husband, the other one, over $1 million in campaign funds. This member is allowed on the Foreign Affairs Committee while praising terrorists. A Democrat chairwoman incited further violence in the streets outside of a courthouse. And then the cherry on top, my colleague and 3-month presidential candidate from California, who is on the Intelligence Committee, slept with Fang Fang, a Chinese spy. Let me say that again. A member of Congress who receives classified briefings was sleeping with the enemy. This is unacceptable, and this would never be.
That's right. Let's go, Brandon. Yes, get bold. That is exactly what I'm talking about right here. So, you know what, man? She's young, first term, doesn't come with a book on how to do this, okay? She's a bar owner. And none of that stuff comes with a book or anything like that. And I will tell you, bravo to her for saying some stuff like that. You need to give it, and you need to put them on the defensive at all times, okay? Make no mistake, all right? Make no mistake. All right, so far, guys, I'm going to let you know I got several channels lined up. We are at war with these people. We are at war, and you could call it a Cold War, whatever. But when you have them even just giving bail to a guy that jumped bail, that went out and murdered women and children, okay, who said previously to that, hey, enough, who said previously to that he was going to do so, all over social media, and none of the leftist social media flagged that. if it was one of us, we'd have the FBI, we'd have the ATF, we'd have Homeland Security, we'd have everybody at our door. But they just allowed his stuff to go. And on top of that, so I read an article, and we're going to get back to the Kyle Rittenhouse thing in a second, but I read an article on in Law Enforcement Today. Now, when I read the article in Law Enforcement Today, I obviously I go through it and I check their links and stuff like that. And when I read something, I try to dig down on it, drill down on it, and see, is it true? What's going on here? So apparently, they tried to start a GoFundMe. This is the day or two after GoFundMe put out a statement about the Kyle Rittenhouse, that they're not allowing for criminal trials to proliferate, all right, the defense of criminals in GoFundMe. And then they allowed this guy to put a GoFundMe up, this maniac, to put a GoFundMe up. If you guys know what I'm talking about, the Wisconsin guy, the red SUV driver. Enough. And but then I checked it and I didn't see it there anymore. So if any of you guys do see it, if you have it, you guys can send me that link, man. All right. So if you know how to get in touch with me, all right. If you don't know how to get in touch with me, I'll let you know how. All right. Don't you worry about that. Let's see what else we got here right now before we move on. All right. Order the primary arms so that we could have some nice Black Friday deals. Okay. I want to talk about Black Friday in a lot of ways, and I want to talk about buying ammo, and I want to talk about all this shit. We are the people who control this niche market, okay, of firearm sales, of buying ammo, gunpowder, all that stuff. Yet we cannot grab ourselves by the balls to put our damn hands in our pockets and stop spending to drive the price down. It makes absolutely no sense to me. This is a market where we and we alone are in control of. Never mind you want to, if I say don't go to Walmart, don't go to Amazon, don't go, no, I don't care. I don't care. The same, we support the 2A, that's wonderful, okay? But at the same time, these corporations are still, the prices are too high. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? You got like Palmetto State. I've just finally begun to see, I love Palmetto State. I mean, I'm an affiliate of Palmetto State, and I've been partners with them for a long time. I'm just starting to see their prices come down. Palmetto State in my opinion, has not taken advantage of us in any way, shape, or form, especially when I see the Toolcraft BCG 556 300 Blackout BCG 223 BCG that's out there for $69 that I checked in my emails from 2-3 years ago. That was $69 2 years ago. All right. So they are rebounding back on their prices. $299 for a Freedom Upper, okay? And now, don't get me wrong, it was $299 for Freedom Upper with the low parts kit, but you find it, they'll throw some blems up there too. My point being is that, let's just say with ammo alone, unless it's a super, super hot deal. Me personally, yes, man, I can't help myself. Just before I got on with you guys, I'm like, what am I going to buy? What am I going to buy? What do I want to spend money on? And I got to hit myself in the head and say, all right, walk the walk, hold out. If we don't spend on Black Friday, they're going to drop the prices down even more. They're going to bring it down. They're going to rebound. Now, I understand, okay? There's fuel costs and there's all of this and these prices are up and yeah, that's all well and good. But we have to take a stand somewhere, guys, Let me get down off my soapbox, Yeah, so yeah, she didn't pull any punches, and I like that. Let her go after them. Let them fight it out. Let them stay on the defense. This Ilhan Omar, man, she is an absolute terrorist. There's no doubt in my mind that at some time in the future, I hate to say it, but she has like the gateway in her community to come from the northern border down into Minnesota. So very dangerous people. Very, very dangerous people. Did you guys see Kennedy interviewing that woman who is from former Soviet Union? He's asking if she was a Marxist, and she's like, this was something that I grew up in. Everybody had to be a part of the young revolutionaries, so on and so forth, in the former Soviet Union. Yet 2 years ago, in the past 2 years, she's written like 5 papers, okay, about communism and Marxism as a PhD. So they're going to keep trying, but we just need to keep standing tall. You know, Ghost Rider USA, Chris, what's going on, my brother? How are you, man? Chris is doing some top secret stuff. I can't tell you what he's doing, but he's doing some really cool stuff. And if he chooses to share it with you, I'm sure he'll do it on his channel. But absolutely great luck with that. Gary, what's going on, man? What's going on, my brother? Yes, it always shows all the hypocrisy to stuff. GoFundMe took down the P. Good. All right. Yeah, that's and as they should. As they should. Our voices are louder than their voices. The only thing that makes their voices loud is that they make multiple fake accounts. That's all. Because we're the supermajority. There are more of us than there are of them. Don't fall into the media. Don't be blinded by any of that stuff. Tune out all of that stuff. We're Americans. It's in our blood. We have no choice. The fight is here. The fight is now. It is on our doorstep. And it's just a matter of what you do about it. It's not about bullets flying. It's not about being Kyle Rittenhouse. It's not about doing any of that stuff. Speaking of Kyle Rittenhouse and speaking of self-defense, I want to show you guys something real quick, all right? Both my ARs and PSA. Yeah, I love Palmetto State Armory stuff. I really do. I love Bear Creek Arsenal stuff, too. You get, for a decent amount of money, you get some pretty good stuff. If you want to build something or you want to buy something, you want that to be a special DMR or something like that, then you go ahead and you spend your money on it. But if you want something that's just going to protect you and it's going to work, you make sure you run it, you make sure you take care of it, make sure you got a forward assist on it. The irony of that whole thing is when I made that Kyle Rittenhouse video, when I saw that in there, I was getting ready to buy, and I'm still probably going to do it, okay, because it wouldn't be a battle rifle for me. I was getting ready to buy the 6.5 Creedmoor upper slick side from Bear Creek Arsenal for $264. And I'm like, a 20-inch barrel, with the 18 is $264, and for $5 more is a 20-inch for $264 with the BCG and everything on 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm like, how could you go wrong with that? 6.5 Creedmoor is the most boring, most forgiving round that you can ever fire. If you don't own one and you want an accurate rifle that will be more accurate than you are, get yourself a 6.5 Creedmoor. What do I mean by more forgiving? What I mean by more forgiving is simple. It's that, all right, let's say you have a rifle, and like I mentioned before, Hansen barrel. Okay, so the Hansen barrel is, that's actually a poor excuse because I can get an inch with 55 grain and get a quarter inch with 77 grain. But let's say you got some other barrel and with one, what is she doing? Excuse me 1 second. Stop it. Come here. Stop it. Stop it. Get down. Stop. I turn around for 2 seconds. This is what I got behind me. They don't stop. It's like having 2-year-olds for 15 years. Holy shit. Okay, so let's say you have a rifle and it shoots a particular grain, great, and it's always within, let's say, whatever's acceptable to you. But if you went ahead and you put in another grain, all right, it would be 3 inches. It would be really off. And it really only likes to work with one. I'll give you a one that can be like that a lot, and that's 7.62 by 39. Most 7.62 by 39s do fantastic with 123 grain. You can go down to 122, 124, and you'll be way off the charts. You'll be somewhere else with it, okay? Will it still defend you if you're inside, 25, 50 yards, 75 yards? Absolutely. It's going to get somebody in a kill box. But I'm talking about if you're looking for some type of accuracy. 6.5 Creedmoor, man, no matter what you're shooting at, it's going to be forgiving. It's going to put them all where it needs to put them, provided that it is exactly the way it should, if it's a decent barrel, let's just say. And most of them are. That's my point. It's a very forgiving round. So I have a Ruger in 6.5 Creedmoor, and it loves 125 grain the best, but it shoots 147 grain, 143 grain as well. Shoots them all perfectly fine. Some it'll shoot like dead on nuts. It just gets boring to shoot. So it's not boring, but you know what I mean? It's exciting. You guys get my point, though. Definitely you want to try that out, What's that? That's exactly what Never Enough Ammo said. Where is he? What did he say? Oh, about not buying ammo. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Got my first good sugar, Geisley. Nice. Is it a single stage or is it a double stage? Let us know. I love Geisley triggers, man. Oh, I have to tell you guys, my favorite trigger, I don't know if you guys know it or not, is Timney. I have a great relationship with Timney anyway. Timney's fantastic. If you have a channel and you do reviews on stuff, reach out to Timney, ask for Chris, all right? So if you reach out to info, say, could you forward this to Chris? He's the one that runs all this stuff right there. He will hook you up. He will definitely hook you up with a trigger. There's no doubt about it. Chris is fantastic. See, I'm not afraid to share this stuff. That's the difference between me and other channels. I got to say, and I don't badmouth anybody. I'm not afraid to tell you. There's so many other channels out there that do reviews. I hook them up with the people. I'm like, I don't care. Who's going to take something out of my pocket? I don't give a rat's ass because we're a community. We're supposed to share these things. I love Timney triggers, man. I just love them. That's what they do, and they do it perfectly. Geisley, that guy's a genius. I mean, there's nothing else to say about that. And if you're getting a Geisley mil-spec trigger, you're in there, bro. You're in there. 2-stage? Absolutely. They make such a fantastic trigger. It's not even funny. And the more you work it, the better you're going to get, you know, the better off you're going to get with it. Okay, so let me show you something that came up. Speaking about self-defense, all right? So I need to pull up my, let me pull it up. I'm going to pull up Discord over here real quick. Blah, 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 because Hotel Joe said it before, and then I wound up reading the article on it. So I got to hit the link for it for the article, okay? Hey, Sean, thanks for putting that up over here for me. And by the way, here, so I'll just show you guys while I'm doing this right here. This is the Warthog community right here. Let me make myself smaller. All right, let me just put myself over here, okay? This is our Warthog community. We've got a lot of people in our Warthog community. A lot of people are on here, and you guys talk back and forth all the time, you know, and it's fantastic. And when you go live, anybody could go live. It goes over voice channels, so you do not have to show your picture on there. You could just click it for sound, and then I can see you, we could see you. It's not, nobody runs it. It's not like I'm running this, unless you do a private one. But if we do a group one, it's who pops in, who pops off, and we run all night long with it. But anyway, over here in the open chat, what did he do before? Where were we? Because I had talked about it before. We were talking about this right here, and then hold on one second. Let me just find. It might be in video links. Let me see. That's the video links right there. Hotel Joe, I put it out. And then I commented because I looked into it. It was about, in Philadelphia, a guy shot some, it was a food delivery guy. And here's why I want to tell you what caught my eye, and I think that the media is lying to us. All right? This is why I'm bringing it up. This is why I think it's newsworthy. All right? And enough! The thing is, Pearl can't hear me when I say that, but it's Liam. He's the one I'll put in check. Where is it? Hotel Joe. Just give me 1 second. Let me find it here. This was, I said it in this chat right here about the fact that I don't believe it. They're pushing it out, little chunks right here, okay? All right, I'm just gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up the link. Jesus, I wish I had. Anybody see it over here? Hold up, let me see if anybody's saying it right here. All right, load at 3:30 a.m. In news, okay. Thanks, brother. Here we go. You're right about that. Thank you. Okay, so here we go. Right here. Let me pull this up. Thanks, brother. This is why we're a community right here. You know, where is it going? Where is it? Where are we? Where the hell is the thing? I'm looking on all. Hold on, you guys gotta bear with me. I'm looking on all my things right here. Hold on.
All of that fat pocket that was here.
Okay, copy that link. Here we go. Let's go here. Let's paste that. Paste and go. No, that's not it. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. It was a different one. There it is. This is it right here. All right, let's see something here. Stop it. All right. Hold up. Hey! Enough! Enough! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so serious about that. But Liam will kill Pearl. You guys have been on live with me when my dog started fighting in the past, and he started tuning them up. Oh, that's Frank Scavo again. What the hell is this? Here we go. No, it's not coming up. Oh shit. Oh, here it is. There it is. Finally.
Well, Philadelphia police are also investigating an attempted robbery that ended in a deadly shooting. A food delivery man fought back when 3 armed robbers approached as he arrived home in the city's Mayfair section overnight. Let's go to Action News reporter Jacqueline Lee live at police headquarters, and Jacqueline, security cameras in that neighborhood recorded the whole thing.
That's right, Walter, and police are reviewing the footage. Now, multiple neighbors tell me that the suspects were actually waiting for the victim before trying to rob him. Those neighbors call the victim brave. Saturday night around 12:15 a.m., the victim in an attempted robbery in Mayfair turns the tables on armed suspects. We're blurring the video to protect eyewitnesses, but here you can see the victim near the door of his house.
He was coming home, taking a break from his job delivering food for an online food delivery service inside his home with some food for his family. Upon coming out the rear door in the back alleyway behind the 3200 block of Longshore Avenue, he was confronted by 3 black males, at least 2 of whom were pointing guns at him, demanding money.
Police say the victim told the suspects that money was in his car. As one suspect started looking for it, the victim pulled out his gun and started shooting.
I don't really like violence, but it's in self-defense. So if he didn't shoot them, they might have shot him. So I think in that case, like, there's not much he can, like, do.
Neighbors say the area is filled with Brazilian and Chinese immigrants, people who work hard and for long hours. They call the victim brave.
It's really good that the victim actually be able to defend himself, because other people wouldn't have a gun or wouldn't be able to defend themselves.
Officials say 2 of the men were hit several times by bullets and taken to the hospital. 1 remains in critical condition. The second suspect died from his injuries, both about 20 years old.
Okay, so first things first. I want to go to that young woman that was saying, I'm not into guns, but I think that it was really good. And then right after that, see, nobody mentioned who the guy was, okay, that did the shooting. They didn't mention anything like that. But I'm only going according to what I saw right here and the information that I got. So what information did we get? Number one is it is a Asian and Brazilian community, okay? So mostly Asian, mostly Brazilian, inner city, Philadelphia. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, all right, and assume, let's just say if they were interviewing Asian people, it was an Asian guy that shot these people that were trying to rob this delivery man, okay? Now, she said on here, she said that he had a concealed carry permit, all right, to carry. Now, this was the news. She said that the police told her that he had a concealed carry permit, okay? Now, this guy is Asian, or there's mostly immigrants in this area that we are. I'm just coming up with a few things, all right? Number 2, he's delivering food, all right? Another thing, okay, maybe he's the owner of the shop, delivering from his own shop. Don't know, but they probably would have said that. But number 3 is you need to know how difficult it is to get a concealed carry in Philadelphia and the hoops that need to be jumped through and everything that they go about, all right? So chances are, was this guy illegal? Was he legal? Was he illegal? Was he, a U.S. citizen? And that's what I'm saying. They're not saying any of this stuff, all right? They're just saying that, yeah, the guy, he had a license to carry. I do not believe any of that. I'm going to be honest with you. But this is leftist controlled Philadelphia, okay? Leftist police department over there, all of this other stuff, and they need some type of good light. The good part about this whole thing, all right, is that you're getting these people to admit on TV, all right, that self-defense is important, okay? That's all I care about. But what I'm saying is, we're not stupid, all right? We don't just go ahead and we just don't just eat everything they try to feed us, all right? We may or may not know the truth, but the bottom line is, I don't care if he was illegal. I don't care if it was an illegal gun. I don't care about any of that. What I do care about, all right, is that he was able to defend himself, and he put a couple guys in the ground that should have probably been in the ground a long time ago. That's it. But that gets all lost in that, you know? So, I mean, my point is, you have to choose which horse you're going to ride on. You just can't keep switching horses in mid-race, okay? So you're either for self-defense, all right, or you're not, okay? Simple as that. Me, just like you guys, I'm for self-defense, you know? What we got right there? I've been saying all along, they didn't start fighting back. Yeah, and that's the other side of it, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as I start watching, I'm like, I bet you this guy's an Asian guy. And you know what? I still don't know yet. I could be wrong. But I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm saying it's a good possibility that it just might be. All right, so let's see right here. Let's go to the saga of the AR-15. He was driving for Uber Eats. There you go. Okay, you know. Doesn't mean he couldn't carry a concealed weapon. That's true, but I will tell you this. Uber is anti-gun. It's on our list of all the companies. They are a contributor to Uber. Both Uber and Lyft contributors to the anti-gun movement. So I highly doubt that he'll be driving Uber in the future. Who knows? You know what I mean? And if he isn't, then there you have it. Then that is racist against anybody who is a constitutionalist. And that's the way I look at it. So let's get back to this thing over here in the saga of the AR-15. Okay, so they said, what did they say over here? Said 3 black players, much for white supremacists being the problem. Yeah, I know, so much. All right, so I said this to Jimmy the other day. So guys send me stuff like from Heavy Duty Country. All right, I don't talk. I try not to talk bad about other channels, but Heavy Duty Country, he's a race hustler. All right, he's no different than a lot of people. He built his whole channel race hustling. Okay, he built his channel on Grandmaster, whatever the hell his name was. That's an easy thing to do. That's a really easy thing to do. But I don't want those people in the Warthog community. I don't want people who are race hustlers in the Warthog community. I want people who want to stand up for being American, not for being American of a particular color, not taking any one idiot's ideology and blowing it up and making it in some way look towards a whole group of people act this way. And maybe that's true. Maybe everything that Heavy Duty Country says is true. I don't know. I don't give a rat's ass. But the bottom line is that if you look at the common thread of what these guys do, they are race hustlers. And you got it on both sides. It's not uncommon, all right? But then are they in it for your freedom and my freedom? I would think not, okay? They're not in it for our freedom. What they're in it for is for themselves. That's what they're in it for, okay? They're in it for the numbers. They're in it for whatever else they're in it for, okay? But they're definitely not in it for what we're in it for. Yeah, maybe they put out some good stuff from time to time. Not the type of that's not the way I would. That's just not the approach that I would ever want to take. Doesn't mean I don't share those opinions sometimes. Doesn't mean I do. But if I have opinions like that, I'm sorry. I'm just not going to share them like this because I don't want to attract that type. Because when you attract that type of people, you attract that type of opposition as well. So, I'm about Americans. It has nothing to do with color. It has nothing to do with anything else. It has to do with, do you like freedom? I like freedom. Let's like freedom together. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go check this out, man. Saga, the AR-15. Let me show you guys this. So if you guys don't know who Ian McCullum is, this guy has an amazing channel, all right? Gets millions and millions of views, and he goes over forgotten weapons. And he had this out a long time ago, and this has been the age-old argument for which wound up saving Kyle Rittenhouse's life. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right? So it's the saga of the forward assist. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and play this.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCullum, and today we're going to take just a few minutes to go over the history of the forward assist on the AR-15, because there's a bit of an interesting story to it. So, as originally developed, the AR-15 did not have a forward assist. It was a nice slick-sided rifle. It also didn't have a brass deflector, which some left-handed people had an issue with. At any rate, the way the AR-15 entered U.S. military service actually started with adoption by the Air Force as a replacement for the M2 carbine. And the M14 program was having some issues by the early 1960s. It had a lot of development issues. It had a lot of production Q&A issues. It was, aside from the qualities of the rifle itself, the manufacturing program behind the M14 had a lot of serious flaws, and these were starting to come to light at this point. Now, when the Air Force purchased AR-15 rifles, it did so off the shelf from Colt. This was just a product, like a revolver or a shotgun that they might want. It was not a mil-spec sort of thing. There was no military standard. It was a rifle. The Air Force decided it wanted a bunch of them, and so it bought them. And it bought them in whatever format Colt sold that the Air Force thought was good. Now, this got more complicated when the Army decided to get involved and also purchase AR-15s. And the reason that the Army...
Okay, hold on. Let me just stop right there. And the Air Force still does that to this day. Okay, so this is something that the Air Force has done, and they still do. They will buy, like survival rifles, okay? The Air Force will buy right off the shelf stuff, and they did that to this day. So at the time, there was no such thing as mil-spec. It didn't exist, military specifications for a particular thing. None of that stuff existed. Let's continue.
got involved was because of the problems with the M14 program. Robert McNamara had this grand timetable in mind, and basically the Defense Department was working on developing Project SPEW, Special Purpose Infantry Weapon, which was going to be like the super-duper rifle, futuristic thing that was going to replace the M14, and it would be burst firing and have grenade launchers and maybe flechettes, maybe regular bullets. There were things still in development there, but he had this grand timeline of exactly when SPEW would be tested, when the best version would be chosen, when it would go into production, and when it would be, actually issued out by the Army. And looking at the gap that formed between when SPEW was expected to be fully in use and current supplies of M14, there was a gap. The Army was short of rifles, or had a projected shortage of rifles, and it figured, McNamara figured, we'll fill that shortage with a one-time purchase of AR-15s. We'll buy 85,000 AR-15 rifles, and they'll be basically a temporary thing until we get Project SPEW finished. Now, in the long term, we know that that didn't work out so well. Project SPEW was a complete catastrophe and never developed into anything other than an underbarrel grenade launcher, eventually. And it would lead to basically this 85,000 unit one-time order being the foot in the door that would eventually get the AR-15 adopted as the M16 and a standard issue military rifle, which it effectively still is today. However, in the process of basically, when the Army goes to buy 85,000 rifles, now this is something a little more serious than just an off-the-shelf purchase. It needs to be standardized. We need to have some control. We need to have some QA procedures. We're not willing to just depend on Colt to test the rifles and say, yeah, they're good, like they would with a small procurement item like shotguns for guards, Air Force guards, for example. So McNamara and the Defense Department put together basically a committee to standardize the AR-15. And the plan is they want to have all four branches of service standardize on the exact same rifle. So the Air Force, of course, has been using the AR-15 for a couple of years at this point. This is 1963, by the way. The Army is looking at getting in on it. The Navy and the Marine Corps don't have it yet, but eventually we know they'll end up using it too. And so the question comes up, what do we need to standardize on the AR-15 before we put in this big formal order? And one of the things that came up was a bolt hold-open device. And one of the things that came up was a bolt forward assist. It was of note to the Army that there is no way to manually force the bolt of the AR-15 forward manually. If the cartridge doesn't quite go all the way into battery, all you can do is pull the charging handle back and let it go under spring pressure and hope that that fixes it. Now, from the Army's perspective, this was a problem. Of course, the M1 and the M14 both had a charging handle effectively fixed to the bolt. It reciprocated when the rifle fired, and if something didn't quite go into battery, you can push forward on that handle and solve the problem with a little application of force. In fact, on the M1 Garand, this was sort of a necessary thing sometimes. When you loaded a new clip, on a lot of rifles, the bolt doesn't go all the way forward just when you release the clip. You have to tap the bolt handle with the palm of your hand, just give it a little nudge, and then it'll close. The M14 didn't have that issue. The manual for the TM for the M14 actually says, yeah, you're not supposed to just force the bolt home to fix an issue because you'll probably actually just make the issue worse. But the Army position, and they laid this out rather specifically, was kind of twofold. It was, first off, if it even prevents one malfunction, then it's worth it, and we should have some way to manually force the bolt forward. And secondly, it doesn't even matter if it fixes even one malfunction, because the mere presence of it, or rather not having it, would be a psychological detractor for the soldier. Having it there gives him this the confidence of knowing that should something go wrong, he can fix it, regardless of whether it would fix it or not. So that was the Army's position. Now, the Air Force looked at this and said, it's stupid. The Air Force said, we've been field testing this thing for 3 years, and we've seen no evidence of an actual problem that requires a forward assist to fix. So there's no actual need, and on top of that, if we go adding something like that to the rifle, it's going to make it more complicated. It's going to make it more expensive. It will probably, they said, cause problems with some other part of the rifle that works fine right now. Basically, the Army was saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Also, it's not broke. Now, it's interesting to go back a little bit with the AR. And if we look at the early versions of the AR-10, the very first AR-10s actually also did not have a forward assist. They have a charging handle up here on the top of the receiver, which was non-reciprocating.
Sorry, I had my sound off. So he made a couple mistakes, with his wording. It was the Air Force that didn't want it, and the Air Force was like, well, we like it this way. We've had it for 3 years this way. Don't change it. It's going to confuse us. But in the end, they said no. We want the forward assist on here, and this is the way it happened. And here we are, over 50 years later. We have a young man who, with everything that was going on, okay, so I don't know if you've ever been in a firefight, okay, if you ever been in any type of shit like that, or any type of really high adrenaline situation, a couple of things happen. And specifically in a firefight, let me tell you one thing that happens, okay? The one thing that happens, and I can only imagine it as a civilian with ears and eyes on, okay, is that the first thing is you can't hear anything, okay? At the same time, your adrenaline is pumping, okay? So your sound goes down. You begin to get tunnel vision, okay? Your adrenaline is skyrocketing through the roof. At the same time, you got this kid that was hit in the head, that's already shot 2 people, okay, to defend himself. He's on the ground, and he looks down, and he sees that his bolt is not forward. And if that is not divine intervention, I don't know what is, okay? Because I'll tell you, the average person would have, I would assume, even soldier, trained person would have picked up and squeezed the trigger, all right? And realized that, click, nothing was happening, okay? And then they would have had to charge the rifle. And by then, this guy had a pistol in his hand and he was trying to kill him. Now, people they can come up with the argument and say, well, what's to say that Kyle was telling the truth? What's to say that he didn't do that he didn't squeeze the trigger first and realize that his weapon didn't fire and then go ahead and fix that malfunction? Maybe he omitted that part out. And I thought about that, and I said, well, that's impossible. And I'm going to tell you why it's impossible. Because had he done that, then he would have had to have charged a rifle, because he would have had to push the hammer back again. He would have had to re-engage his trigger. So he never squeezed the trigger to send that trigger forward for it not to fire if it was out of battery, So he looked down, he looked in, he saw that it was out of battery, and he fixed it right there. But if he would have picked it up, or if he would have just squeezed it in his hand anytime prior to that, squeeze that trigger, regardless, that trigger would have went forward. And I don't care how much forward assisting you do, doesn't mean anything. He still would have had to charge the rifle to reset his trigger. So he cannot be lying about that. The way he said it happened had to have happened. There's no other explanation for it, with the exception of divine intervention. There's no, I mean, like, what gave him enough? What gave him the thought, out of everything that's going on, hit with a skateboard at the base of the brain, okay? Punched in the head, hit with rocks, already fired on several people. Got a guy in front of him trying to make sure is he doing the right thing? This guy's about to raise a weapon. Is he lowering the weapon? Is he about to jump at me again? There's another guy over there and another guy in front of me over there, and they don't have their hands up yet. Whew. They will be talking about this, and if they're not talking about it now, they should be talking about it now, because this should be in military, FBI, law enforcement, and civilian training courses from here out moving forward. Everything. Remember that FBI training thing you see all over the internet, where this it's from back in the 80s, and remember Miami was nuts back in the 80s, okay, with all of the gun battles and all of the Colombian cartels and the people that were getting killed, and there was a shootout with the police at one particular time, and it was filmed, and it's used in FBI training. This far goes past that, what we're talking about now, but what they did then, and they keep bringing it up, and they've been bringing it up since 85, 95, 2005, 2015. We're coming into 40 years later. They're still talking about that this guy pointed his shotgun at the ground at an angle, and because of the way, if you were to, it'll ride, the round will ride the ground, the slug will ride the ground, and that's how he wound up taking out. And there was some other things that went on in there, but that was the main gist of it, was the fact that, he couldn't get a clear shot, and this is what he did. He pointed his shotgun, and the slug essentially rode the ground and knocked out his target in some way, shape, and form. I don't think it took him off the battlefield, but it definitely gave him enough time to get to a better position in that gunfight. And they're talking about, and that was really quick thinking. That was one of those moments, but nothing compared to what Kyle Rittenhouse did. That is, it's the most amazing thing that I've seen from a civilian, and I've seen some pretty crazy things, That one right there, that's up there. It's definitely up there. And to this kid, I would expect somebody thinking that quick from a 17-year-old, though. I really would. You put yourself back into that frame of mind. We were sharp, man. You know what I mean? He wasn't a drug addict. He wasn't an alcoholic, man. He was a clear-thinking young man. Now, what was it, a Bushmaster? Does any of you guys know what he was using? Was that a Bushmaster that he had? I think that's what it was, wasn't it? Let's see. Is anything a 17-year-old? All right. So if you guys didn't see the video that I made, if anybody that's on here didn't see the video, okay, because a lot of you guys just jumped on the channel as a thank you to me. Let's go to, I'll show you the video that I made now and explain to you what, because nobody caught this and I can't believe that I caught it. When he went to about irony, all right, so they kicked me off my channel, and I meant to say this in the beginning of the video. I never monetize stuff, but I said, you know what, I'm going to put this up and monetize it because I'm not infringing on anything, and I could use Fox News right here, okay? And I want to let you guys know how much money this one video would have earned me after I show it to you. It's only about 40 seconds long. Hold on a second right here. Let's see. Okay, let's go to W71. Okay, here we go. This is it right here. Hang out. Here we go.
And I had my rifle pointed in his direction for about a second, and then once I lower my rifle, I noticed that my ejection port is opened about an inch, and Mr. Grosskreutz said I pulled the charging handle, which never happened. I hit the forward assist to close the ejection port, and he sees me doing that or something, and this time he runs at me and he has his gun pointed directly at my head.
Did you see the gun?
I did.
All right, so that 43 seconds right there, guys. That 43 seconds would have probably earned the channel $1,500 right there. 375,000 views in 24 hours. It probably would have earned around 15. You figure it's around $500 for 100,000 views, somewhere around there. This is what you earn. You don't earn much. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of views to earn any money. It probably would have earned around $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500. And I was going to hold it for a week to put it on my channel. But I said, you know, I wanted to get the information out. My wife was like, what are you going to do? You know, I was never in it for the money anyway. But the thought fleetingly crossed my mind. I said, yeah, maybe I can't monetize it on this one. So, you know, but you never know what's going to do good on the internet. You never know what's going to be right. But this has always been the longest argument for the AR-15 is how good, you know, what's worth this forward assisted, which is why a lot of companies are making billet uppers that, like Bear Creek Arsenal, they're making them without the forward assist. And now you see how important. The irony of this also is, I don't know, has anybody out there ever had to use their forward assist, even at the range? Because when I'm shooting steel-cased ammo and I'm shooting stuff, and if I'm getting a lot of rounds down range that day and I'm shooting really dirty stuff, there are times I'll have to use my forward assist, and I'll be like, oh man, this thing's, you know, and then it'll be an indicator for me that I need to, you know, crack the top open, pull it out, wipe it down, and put a little bit of oil on my BCG at the same time. That normally fixes it, and I don't have to use it again. But after only firing 4 rounds, 5, 6 rounds, or whatever, he should have been good to go. Even if he had a BCG with no oil on it whatsoever, chances that shouldn't have happened. You know. Delton, okay, all right. Smith & Wesson, it's hard to say. MP15, that sounds more like it. I think MP15, I think you're right. Is it Delton MP15? You know? Shoot, I'm so out of fucking, there's so many different numbers in my head, I don't know who's who anymore. All right, MP15, let's see, let me look this up real quick. That's the Smith & Wesson, okay, all right, so it was a Smith & Wesson MP15, okay, and all right, so it wasn't I'd like to know for sure. Let me just look it up. Let's look it up and find out, okay? Wouldn't a side charge work as a... Yes, absolutely. A side charger is... You don't need it. You are dead on with that. You don't need it. Yes, you would just push it forward. Same exact thing. No difference. I agree, yes. And thank you for saying that, bro, because I didn't even cross my mind. And I just bought a side charger, 11.5 inch. But you're right, yeah. Side charger, same thing. You just hit that handle, and the new handles on the Bear Creek Arsenal handles, they are made so perfect. They have an indexing pin in them. They did a fantastic job with that. The way they're CNC'd, it's CNC'd aluminum. They've got no sharp edges. They bevel the edges on it. It's nice and long, so you could fit a good finger or a thick. I have thick sausage fingers. I remember when I was going for my prints for a suppressor. It was a while ago, and I was going for prints, and I had to for Form 1, and I went down there, and the officer was doing my prints, and he's like, Jesus Christ, like, what do you do, construction for a living? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, your fingers are they're like sausages. So I never thought anything about it, you know. And I'm looking at him like, man, I got pretty fat fingers. Chicks dig it, you know. But let's see, the weapon model, Kyle Rittenhouse. Model AR-15 Kyle Rittenhouse used. All right, okay. What are they saying right here? Blah, 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 blah. So, 3 guys going to a bar in Kenosha, and Kyle Rittenhouse says, first shots are on me. You guys got some really good memes out there, I'll tell you that, man. And I love it on the Discord channel, the memes you guys put up. I want to thank each and every one of you on the Discord channel. You guys are the ones that keep it alive. You're fantastic. Oh, speaking of things, Alan Powell's here. Let me show you guys something really cool. Hold on a second. It does. I can't seem to find it right here. Which all right, model type AR-15 car Rittenhouse used. It doesn't say. Man. All right, so we'll leave that. If somebody finds something definitive, just let me know. I'm sure you guys, know what you're talking about. Okay, so I got something cool. All right, I have a couple things cool. Number one, I want to show you guys something. Before I show you this, I want to show you. I've been meaning to do it, and I'm actually got a video, and I didn't edit it all up yet. And I'm going to put up the video for that. It's a mail call video, and I might as well do them both right now. But let me show you the first one. I want to show you guys something really, really cool. Hold on. Bear with me. Take me 2 seconds. Ah, shoot. All right. I can't show you. S2 pallet wood made me a beautiful plaque. I can't, it's on the wall right over there, and I can't show it to you guys because I can't get it off the wall, and I don't want to destroy it or the wall. But that's going to be in a video. S2 pallet wood is fantastic with wood, and he made me, he's in the side chat here, he made me burned in Warthog 71. It is sitting up on my wall. I got a rifle mounted under it. It's fantastic. And let me show you some mounts. Alan Powell makes these mounts. I mentioned them in my last live feed on my other channel on Warthog 71, but let me show you what I got in the mail. And if any of you guys want to know Alan Powell's address, no, I'm only kidding. So I get this in the mail the other day, and it's from this guy right here, the real AP, and he makes me out. Oh, Alan, what is this one right here? What is that for? Can you tell me what that is? This one right there? Let us know. All right. First of all, he makes me a, oops, sorry about that. He makes me 3 of these right here. And what they do is they mount to the wall, okay? And you put your AR-15 on it, and it holds your AR-15. This is, you guys can pretty much see what I'm talking about right here, right? So you put that on there, and isn't that cool? Check that out. And he 3D printed this. Very, very cool. But another cool thing that you could do with this is you could mount it to your work table right there, okay? So if Alan made it like this, straight up. Now, you could do it on an angle right here on your work table, and your rifle would sit on an angle. But if you wanted to something like this, you could mount it on your work table on an angle to sit up like that, and you could have a perfectly level this out, bolt this down, and you could work on your AR. So Alan sells these, and you could reach out to him on the Warthog Discord right there, or go on his channel and reach out to him, and he'll let you know what they cost. Okay, and so I got a whole bunch of these to hang up, and I can hang up AR-15s with them. They're a lot more affordable than the other ones that you would see out there, and they get the job done. Now, there's something I wanted to show you. I made a little change to one of them. I don't have it over here, but what I did when I got it, it's over. Oh, where is it? Oh man, it's in here somewhere. So what I did was I took this and I cut out the slot for it. So I cut the little slot out for it, actually on the other side right here. I cut the slot out right here. So when I put my weapon on it, it locks, and then I have to press the ejection. That's not always, you don't always want that, because if you're in a hurry, you might rip the whole damn thing off the wall. So I wouldn't recommend that for everybody, but I know that it's there so that I could just press the magazine, because maybe if I wanted to hang it upside down with the ejection button on it. So I have the for the mag eject. So the mag eject goes in it, and then you could hang it upside down on something, maybe a rafter in your garage or wherever it is, wherever you're putting it. So this way you can hang it upside down. So it's actually pretty cool. He also makes these for the AK-47, and he also makes them for the AK-47 and the AR-15, and they hold magazines with it too. Because I always said to myself, yeah, you hang this up, but where do you put your damn magazine? Where's the magazine for it? So you take the rifle off of it. You need it in a hurry, okay? unless you're making a really nice room and you're hanging them all up. And at some point, I'll put these up in here and you'll see. And I'll get a whole bunch more from Alan. And another thing that he made me, which was really cool, is, you guys know what this is? Alan made me, this is for a gas block. So remember, if you put your gas tube in your gas block, you need to bang the pin into it, okay? So you're going to have to put a pin in there to hold it in your gas block. So this little thing right here is for holding your gas block, so you could go ahead and you could put the gas tube in there and mount your pin. I have a different one from that I've been using for years. It's a lot bigger than this, but I like this because this I'm going to actually mount to something, and then that I'm always going to have it there, so I don't have to search for the other one I have. Thank you very much, Alan. I really appreciate that, bro. That's fantastic, you know. But absolutely, yes, he's got AK-40. Oh, that's an AK-47 mount. All right, thank you, brother. I do not have an AK-47, but I will at some point. I'm just, you know, I have a 7.62 by 39 AR. It's just really in 2021 that I started to feel in love with the AK-47. And I'll tell you, the AK-47 runs and everything for the main number one reason is its tolerances are not as tight as the AR-15. That's why, you know, that's what she said. I just need to buy one of them mounts. All right, just had to buy flooring for the house, so I can't afford anything extra this week. Bro, I'll send you one of these, man. You know what I mean? I'll send you one of these. You can hang it up over there, bro. I have your address over here, so I'll get out and I'll drop it in for you, bro. You know? So, all right, Christopher. So it was the MP15. All right, fantastic. Thank you very much to solve the Kyle Rittenhouse riddle. But yeah, man, you look at it like, what more than God holding his hand, okay? Than him being in the care of the Lord, can you say that made that young man just happen to look down at night with all of this and see and put it together? He had put it together. He says, wait a minute, my you know, he didn't put the words correctly with Tucker Carlson, that talking head, but he saw that it wasn't in battery, okay? And that's what it is. He looked through the breech of his weapon. He looked down at the breech. He saw that the bolt was not in battery, and he had the wherewithal to push it forward however he did that, okay? And I will tell you, my hat's off to him, and I wish him a great life. So you guys also know what's going on and what he said in that interview about Lynn Wood, right? Have you guys heard about that? And have you heard the Lynn Wood's response to that as well? And we're going to talk about that in our next get together. We'll talk about, because I have Lynn Wood's whole discussion with the guy that called him, and I got to tell you, man, Lynn Wood seems to me like a straight shooter. There's always two sides of the story, and then, you know, first you hear Kyle Rittenhouse talk to Tucker Carlson about what Lynn Wood did, and he kept him in jail for 80-something days, and so on and so forth, and then you hear Lynn Wood's side of the story, and that's where you go ahead and you make your decision on it. You say, well, first of all, it doesn't mean rat's ass to either one of us, all right? But at the same time, this guy Lynn Woodman has been under attack. What I heard recently is he's had a security team that was staying on his property with him, and they walked off for whatever reason. I don't know why they did. Also, Lynn Wood is also saying that the guy who's a spokesperson for Kyle Rittenhouse had to turn his trident in. Whatever it took his Navy SEAL status. I don't understand how they take your Navy SEAL status away from you. Once you've passed and you've been given something, you've got it. It's like someone taking my Ranger tab off or something like that. How does that make any sense? You know what I mean? You're not taking it off. I earned it, you know? But I don't know how that works. But Lynn Wood does put up a pretty good argument, and at the same time, he has no malice towards Kyle whatsoever. So maybe he's just a slick old Southern gentleman like that. Who knows? But he did have a pretty good argument. And we're going to talk about that. You know what I mean? Definitely. The bolt did not go forward. I had to laugh, Sean, because it's exactly what it is. The bolt did not go forward and slam fire. And I was like, I wanted to talk about that, put that in there, but I didn't. You know? Oh my God. Chicago Tribune says Smith and Wesson or M&P. Fantastic, yeah. And I don't care what the Chicago Tribune said, Mr. Lyle Meese. I care about what Mr. Reed said. Now, one of our people. I'm only kidding, buddy. Lyle sends me a lot of stuff, man. Lyle keeps me busy all day long, man. And Lyle, if I don't get back to you on things, but I always try to go ahead and I look at stuff, you know what I mean? Situation awareness level 100%. Absolutely, Chris. Abso-freaking-lutely. Hey, did you guys see the video on did you guys see the drone video where they were at the shooting place and they were doing a high-speed camera and stuff like that? Have you seen that video? Oh, shoot. You know what it is? I can't log into my damn YouTube account to pull up the video. Oh, no. It was in an email. Hold up a second. I had an email and I got a cool video, and we'll talk about it on the next one. It don't make a difference, you know. But they had these drones, and then they mounted a high-speed camera. And what was really cool about what they did is they said, we took the drones. This was a drone channel, and they took the drones to a shooting range, right? A professional shooting range, and because you could put the drone in places where a cameraman can't go, like in front of the firing line. And they got some amazing footage. So they had everybody, lined up, and everybody was shooting, and the drone was like going right in front of them while they were shooting. Like, you could never do that with a cameraman, you know what I mean? But they got some really cool stuff. And then they had they had a high-speed camera on there, and they were going around in circles around the shooter like this. And they were getting a 360 of the shooter, but all in slow motion. Amazing, amazing footage. I would love a high-speed camera. You know, I just like to be able to make shooting videos more. You know, heard Kyle talk about Linwood, but now they'll talk about Kyle. Yeah, sounds like BS stolen valor. You know, yep. It's not uncommon for security people to be fake. All right, people. Yes. It turns. Yeah, this has to do with. He's talking about Kyle Rittenhouse is the guy who's a spokesperson who is a Navy SEAL or whatever. Essentially, what Lynn is inferring is that Kyle is not getting really good info. That the people that are around him are using him, but he doesn't come out and say that and doesn't harp on that. What he does do is he defends what he said. He takes each point that was questioned him about what Kyle said, and you could see him right off the top of his head. He's like, you know, he answers it straight out. He says, no, this is what I did. This is what I didn't do. This is what I did. This is what I didn't do. This is why this happened. And then what it made me think about, after hearing Linwood, Kyle Rittenhouse doesn't know what his lawyer said. He gets his information through his mom, and he gets it through his lawyer there. And also, just to give you one little spoiler on it, Linwood is like, I am not a criminal attorney. He said, so I was not his attorney to begin with. And that ended it right there, you know. He's the one that gets the money. He got the $250 million deal for the kid that was standing in front of the Indian guy, Nick Sandman. He negotiated that deal before whatever it is that he had a falling out with him. He also did the Richard Jewell thing, where they thought he was the bomber down in Georgia. He won that case. So he's got a lot of big cases under his belt, man. I mean, he seems like a straight shooter. I know some people think he's a bit of a fanatic with the Trump stuff, but it doesn't mean he's not telling the truth, you know? And I do know that he is he will look at you and be like, do you work for the deep state? You got to hear the interview. It's really, really cool. Okay. And I'll put it up on the Discord channel so you guys can listen to the whole interview as well. We'll definitely talk about that on the next one, guys. Basically, that's about it. You know, being on a different one right here, it's even more cozy for all of us, which I really, really like. I really appreciate you guys showing up. But if you guys want to chat back and forth, I'm going to go on Discord right now, okay? And, while I was on Discord, I could just go ahead and put the link in here. So if you don't have the link and you're not on our Discord channel, let me go invite people. Let's go right here. Good. Let me copy that. Excellent. Right here, I'm putting it in here. Paste. Good. All right. Copy that link right there and join the Discord channel. I'm about to go live on Discord, so now we could show guns and we could do whatever we want to do. All right. YouTube, all right, and I'll see you guys over there. I'm just going to turn it on in the meantime. So if you guys want to pop on, we could hear each other. All right? You don't have to show your face, but we could all hear each other. You could show your face if you want. I don't give a fuck. You know, I like seeing you guys. And meanwhile, I'm going to just chill out over here. And we're gonna go hang out. All right? So in the meantime, practice proper fire and safe technique at all times. After party, Discord. I'll see you guys on that one. All right? Charlie Mike. Oh, yeah.
Drop it on 'em. Drop that.